What's going on, guys? Cruzin Podcast. Today's episode is dedicated to Kenobi. We saw the whole series. We were waiting till the last episode to go into it. So we're going to go right into Kenobi today. Before that, just feel free to like and subscribe. Join the channel, join Cruzin, and let's get into the episode. All right, guys. So we saw Kenobi last night. We stayed up till 3. We finished the series. We haven't been doing like a weekly review every week because honestly, we wanted to, because the common excuse is, wait, but the show's not over yet. Finish the show. So we wanted to give this show, let it give us everything, and then evaluate our thoughts. We saw it last night. We slept on it so that, we let it marinate a little bit. So we're going to go straight to it. We're going to be honest. We're going to be as honest as we can be. And it's Star Wars. We all care about Star Wars. And I'll start with my thoughts right off the bat. Look, it's good to see Ewan McGregor back. It's good to see Hayden Christensen back. It's good to see certain things throughout the show that are nice to see. But I got to be honest, in the context and seeing these 6 episodes, I'm going to just start off by saying very disappointed, like extremely disappointed to put it in better terms, just very disappointed. We don't want this to be a hateful, toxic review or anything like that, but we are going to be honest. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. Each episode, I was trying to give it that benefit of the doubt, and I just felt like each episode it's very clumsy. The writing is very clumsy. The dialogue, the characters, the character arcs. It didn't feel like an Obi Wan show. And I'm just going to lay like a groundwork out of everything that I felt was wrong with it. Then I'm going to let you do it, and then we can kind of like feed off whatever we missed to keep this organized, because I don't want us to ramble on and on for like 40 minutes. Not once, maybe one time on this last episode do we hear the original soundtrack. So right off the bat throughout the whole show, it felt like Disney did not want to go back into what Star Wars is, right? Between Obi-Wan's character, I mean, since we're here for the finale as well, I'm gonna say right off the bat the return of the Obi-Wan and Vader fight scene, very disappointing. Lack of imagination, lack of creativity. Where they fought is just this rocky planet where with no imagination, super dark. And it all goes down to the budget.
And it's like dirt and rocks again.
And when you compare it to Mustafar, and this is a show that I just feel like was completely unnecessary. And it hurts. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense how it's between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. It makes no sense at all. Like, it doesn't line up. Look, Ewan McGregor does his best. It's always great to see him delivering his lines and stuff like that. Hayden Christensen. The big one that everybody talks about, the Reva character, the character herself. We're not talking about Moses Ingram. We like her in Ambulance and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with the person playing the character. I think the character's poorly written. Her arc makes no sense. It doesn't need to be here at all.
She doesn't need to be. Like, why is she in the show?
The character does not need to be there. It brings nothing to the table. It just takes away from Obi Wan Kenobi's
and it does
show.
Fuck up, like it does mess up.
It mess up the lore because
if Vader knows she's a youngling that survived,
it makes no
Order
sense.
66, and she knows who he really
and
is,
he lets her live twice.
And because like no one knows like his true.
Yeah.
And then if you ever do see his face, he will just kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
and
he keeps that a secret.
She survives 2 stabs to the fucking stomach.
One.
2 and apparently as a kid.
Oh,
apparently
right.
And then here, then she ends up on Tatooine.
Never Qui-Gon is the only one who can't survive.
And she ends up on Tatooine, and then she's the one that lets Luke live. Like that's supposed to be, that's what Disney expects us to accept as canon in Star Wars. Like not like Obi-Wan is super incompetent in this whole series. Like he just keeps fumbling across plot lines. The plot just fumbles across, between him leaving the message from Organa. What's his first name? Bail Organa. Basically saying where the Luke's location is. I mean, there's so many clumsy things
and that's like episode 4.
No, yeah,
was like the dumbest.
There's a lot, but there's so many things that are so clumsy that just to progress the plot forward, I was like, this is what we've been waiting for. It felt very lazy, bad television.
Honestly, this should have been a movie.
The story is
I think this should have been a
lackluster.
high budgeted movie,
and the story doesn't even pick up. And I'm quoting because there's like barely a story here. It doesn't pick up to the last 2 episodes. So, and on top of that, budget feels super cheap. Everything feels small scale.
And one thing I am going to complain about is that shaky cam was giving me a headache.
And because the reason why they were doing that shaky cam,
that shaky cam, even in this in the season or series finale, whatever the fuck this is, because they might do a season 2, not sure, so that's why I'm not calling it a series finale. Yeah, but the scene every time they're doing spoilers, right? Yeah. So when he slices Vader's helmet, don't get me wrong, I actually really like that scene. Like, cause even like he does a great, like, crying, like the tears.
That's
are
the
coming.
thing. Ewan McGregor does his best.
No, but that I will give him credit. Like that, at least for me, like I did like that scene when they were both talking. The fighting was okay.
The fighting was bad.
But then when he sliced up his mask and they were talking and like I really liked that scene. But one thing that I didn't like was it's an emotional scene and it's like fucking shaking.
And not only that,
why is this
again like Ewan McGregor does great.
No, yeah.
And yes, that's it's nice to see them having that conversation, but it makes no sense. Because if you have him defeated, how does that make sense in New Hope?
He could have killed him.
It makes no sense.
He
Why walk away from Vader?
Yeah, he literally could have just killed him.
And it defeats the whole point of New Hope where he sacrifices himself because he knows Luke is the one that will be able to defeat him. So why walk away?
Because I think what they should have done was, I think they should have he beat, kind of
like something in Rebels.
In Rebels, I was just gonna say, like in Rebels when Ahsoka fights him,
there's something that stops them.
She doesn't clearly beat him. Something like the pyramid or the cave
where they have to run away,
and they both run away.
Yeah, but classic like nobody really wins, but they have to stop the fight.
But this he
clearly defeats him. He could have killed him.
Yeah. He beat Vader pretty bad, man. Like I was like, dude, that's
so
like,
it doesn't make sense.
It's and I know people are gonna say like, oh well, that's his brother, blah 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 blah.
But it makes no sense.
You could have stopped the most evil person.
And he says, "I will do what I must." Like in Revenge of the Sith, he left him to die, and he was crying because he left him to burn alive, but he knew he had to, but he didn't But then he survived.
Yeah,
that's the point. But he does the same thing here.
No, clearly you can kill him,
and he's already gone. Like if he said, that would have been the end. Like if he said, "Then Anakin, my friend, is truly dead," then he kills him. But then that would be the end. That's it.
And also too, like there's one part in the fight scene that I didn't really, even Star Wars Theory was like when he was punching his
the thing,
that thing, he was like just letting him hit him.
Yeah,
he's like dude, why are you letting him hit you there?
And
I don't know.
It makes no sense because it would have made sense for him to kill him right there.
Yeah, because then that again, because
this all felt like fan fiction. Like if this was an alternate ending,
and also too the power boost that he got, because at the same time, because again, I'm thinking because the way George Lucas did his Force stuff was very different. Because this is kind of felt a little bit like that Force. Was it the Force Unleashed?
Yeah, games? Very inconsistent.
Because Starkiller's fucking he's super fucking powerful.
It's very inconsistent.
Because I remember even in Revenge of the Sith when he's fighting Palpatine. I mean, shit. Even when he saves Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda against Count Dooku, he's struggling to keep that big metal.
Yeah, there's a focus that you need.
Like you need a focus. You know what I mean? And I don't know. And obviously, it's rocks, But still, but I don't know. Again, I haven't really seen that.
All this, it felt very fan fiction-y.
Because even in Clone Wars and Rebels, it always shows like you need like a focus to really.
Yeah, it feels very fan fiction-y, and it's not that the choreography was bad.
Even in Revenge of the Sith, when Yoda's fighting, Palpatine, when he's throwing like those big seeds, like he's like struggling like to move him away, like. I don't know.
It makes no sense. Here, it makes no sense. It felt like a fan fiction, like a low-budget fan fiction. Yeah, but it just felt like a low-budget fan fiction. Like their choreography was good, but it was shot so poorly because you can tell, and this is what I wanted to say, like everything in this series feels so low budget. Like everything is small sets. And you can tell it's like small set with like a background.
And also in episode 4, when he's walking down the hallway, the stormtroopers are not really shooting. Like there's shots where like they're not even shooting him, like they're looking at him
because it's all so low budget and it's all small set.
And also,
at no point did I feel like this was like a large scale Star Wars show.
And the part that got me was someone in the Star Wars unit slapped the stormtrooper in the face.
Yeah, no. There's so many things, and
that scene. Whenever I was like, wait, did you just like bitch slap him? Like she was like, yeah.
There's so many things. There's so many things that. It could easily frustrate me, but I'm trying to stay composed because I don't want to be that person. But it's so small scale, it's so low budget. It feels low budget.
Yeah, it does.
That's why the shaky cam is there because they need some sort of momentum.
But the thing is, like even the shaky cam during emotional scenes,
it doesn't make sense.
I was like, why are they doing that?
It doesn't make sense. And then you look at each episode as a whole. There's no story. And it's all at no point that I feel like there's a large landscape show.
And it was too much on Leia.
Star Wars is supposed to be large scale. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be big. It's supposed to feel like vast.
No, but I think another issue too that obviously it doesn't feel like an Obi Wan show.
It's not
and
at all.
And it was too focused on Leia and stuff. Like I would
Leia.
No, but I would have been fine like with like she comes in for like an episode or two.
But they prolong it each time over and over.
Like, dude, there were some bad chase scenes with Leia. Like,
yeah,
it was episode 1 or 2.
Both. Episode 1 and 2, because the first episode was her running away from the guys
in the woods, right? And then episode 2 was at the city
with Obi Wan.
Yeah, so those are pretty rough in the whole parkour scene. But like,
none of it makes sense.
What I wanted from this show was Obi Wan, the aftermath of Part 3. And it's like him with Qui-Gon having to like
meditating, learning.
And
it's not even to say what we want because I already know what people are going to say. Well, it's not what you want. It's what I know. It's what makes sense with the story. Revenge of the Sith.
And also
Yoda tells Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, he's like, Qui-Gon, he's going to teach you so that it leads to New Hope when he becomes a Force ghost. We don't get that. Look, it was nice seeing Leia for the first 2 episodes, but what was bothering me was Obi-Wan is incompetent the whole series to the point where Luke is almost killed in the finale. And he's not killed because Reva decides not to. Not because Obi-Wan is protecting him. No, Obi-Wan like forgets him and Reva's the one that decides not to kill him.
And also,
makes no sense.
Also, her character, she knows everything. She knows.
That's what I was gonna say. Leia as a 10-year-old, she knows everything. That Obi-Wan doesn't know Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And Reva just happens to find everything out. No. Even when she's dying in the sand, she happens to find the message saying that Luke is on Tatooine. I think for her arc, she should have been dead right there. Vader should have killed her. Why would Vader not kill her? Or like secure he had 2 lightsabers. He could have done the Count Dooku on her. Vader's he has no mercy.
Yeah.
But he just stabs her and like, all right, bye. And then she shows up on Tatooine because they're setting up her spin-off show. We know.
And also, like she knows his, like Anakin. She's a youngling that survived Order 66.
None of it makes sense.
And why would he bring in again? That breaks a lot. Like I saw a Star Wars series video on it. Like it breaks. So like it doesn't make like why would he bring in someone from Order 66?
And I feel like what disappoints me is I feel like Disney's intentionally trying to break away from the original movies. Like the soundtrack. Not once do they use music from Revenge of the Sith,
I think,
except for the ending, like for 2 seconds.
I think the best thing for Star Wars is
move away.
Stop fucking up the Skywalker stuff. You guys have done enough damage.
They've done enough damage. Stay away from the sequels.
And honestly, Obi-Wan season 2, don't do it. you guys already done enough damage. Let's just do again.
Taika Waititi, he's doing something away from
new stories. Do new stories. Do something that's not remotely close to.
All they're doing is damaging everything, and
because now what? So when the 10 years, what Reva has a spin-off show and it's like her doing something else.
Disney is it's so disappointing because
you guys are hurting. Like
they're pumping out at this point. Like it's not even good quality. Like when I'm complaining about how low budget an Obi Wan Kenobi show looks, there's a problem. There's a problem when an Obi Wan Kenobi Star Wars show looks low budget.
It's those small sets and those screens that they've been using for Mando.
You can tell though, like there's small sets, and that's why it's shot very tight. At no point do I feel like this large landscape. Star Wars is supposed to feel large and vast.
Because I think for Andor,
they shot on location.
Did they?
It looks, I don't know.
Because by the trailer, I was like, man, this looks bigger than like any other Star Wars show we got in. Like,
yeah, that's the trailer though. We got to see, but it just.
But it looked like it was shot on location.
And Disney wants to continue just pumping and dumping a lot of content, and that's the problem. It's all low budget because it's on Disney Plus. If you have done a good Obi Wan Kenobi movie, him post Revenge of the Sith, a character study, and him trying to come in terms with what happened. He doesn't have to see Vader. He doesn't have to fight Vader again, but him meditating and learning from Qui-Gon, the Inquisitors hunting him down, and maybe back and forth with him and Vader where they're circling each other, but they never actually meet. That builds a little bit more tension because honestly, the fight scene doesn't make sense.
Or you do one fight scene, like one.
But it doesn't make sense because when you look at New Hope now, you have to look at this fight scene where Obi-Wan could have clearly killed him. It makes no sense for him to walk away. Revenge of the Sith, he cuts his legs off and leaves him to burn.
Legs and
arms.
He
thinks that's it. He's done.
Or one arm, I think, right?
He thinks he's done. But here he clearly has him defeated. It doesn't make sense.
Like you could end the Empire.
It doesn't make sense.
You can,
that's it. It could have ended there, but they know they can't because of New Hope. So this feels like a fan fiction thing where like, oh, what if Obi-Wan killed Vader? That's what it feels like. All this and the choreography was good in the fight scene, but the setting was bland. Yeah, and the way it was shot, those random overhead shots.
Because you never that concept art that they showed at that D23, that was like on the fire, like fighting a Mustafar. Again.
Too much budget.
But it's like, come on, man.
It's
like,
very disappointing,
and
man.
it's like, dude, you guys got money. You guys can do
That's
it.
what bothers me, man. It doesn't feel like Disney. You guys are being cheap with it. It doesn't feel like Disney's trying. And that's what bothers me. It doesn't feel like they're trying at this point. It doesn't. The writing is so clumsy.
No, but and also too the writers that they got too, and I saw
they don't understand Star Wars.
Yeah, because the writers were calling, oh, can we do this? Can we do this? Because
they didn't even understand that Obi-Wan already knows that he's Vader, and there's so many things.
Literally, like Revenge of the Sith, there's a scene in the hologram, Rise Lord Vader, like, and him and Yoda are looking at it, like he's gone.
That's so disappointing, man.
And I don't know what happened. Honestly, I think this show, Obi-Wan should have. Man, I think Dave Filoni should have done this. I think Dave Filoni should have wrote this. And you get like the people from Mando, like you get Bryce Dallas Howard, you get Jon Favreau, you get the people who've done Mando to do Obi-Wan, because this is already like you need fans like who know, like Dave Filoni knows Star Wars and he knows the lore, he knows everything, and I feel like he would have done a justice to Obi-Wan and to the canon of that Lucas has like set up.
Yeah,
and I feel like you got these writers that honestly, dude, they would like. The dumbest things I've ever seen in a TV show, like especially in episode 5, like the stormtroopers bring out Obi-Wan, right?
Oh yeah, that whole episode 5.
And then they're literally whispering. Reva and him are whispering in front of all the stormtroopers that how they're gonna betray Vader.
Yeah.
And then Reva sends him back through the same hallway for him to escape.
Yeah, and then the finale.
Like the writer that they got.
Even the finale. Like
the rise that they got,
it didn't feel like an Obi-Wan show. It felt like it's like Obi-Wan is there, but then it's like about Reva and Leia. You know what I mean? And I was like, it's just very disappointing and like I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed.
You have to look at it because I know people are probably gonna like give us a lot of shit for it. This video, but. You have to look at it like the guy from the John Campea show that he does the tweets. Yeah. Like he's like, look at the show for itself, is this a good Obi-Wan show?
It's not.
And it's not.
And the quality that's put in, like the writing is clumsy. It felt lazy. Like things just very convenient, like little things just to progress the story. I was like, really? And then and the budget just felt so low.
Yeah, the CGI was rough in a lot of spots.
So everything's felt small scale. Like here's a little mini set, and then you can clearly tell the background. And the Vader and Obi-Wan scene was supposed to be the big rematch, and there was no sense of scope or a scale on it.
It was very dark, very...
The close-ups, like you compare that to Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, you could have fought anywhere else. Man, like seriously, enough with the dirt and rocks shit already, man.
Because you know why? It's cheaper, and that's what it's bothering me. It's disappointing. It just feels like it doesn't feel like they're putting care into this. It doesn't. It's just pump and dump, and they're trying to treat Star Wars like if it's Marvel, and it's not. Star Wars is losing what made it special, and you know what? Even like the sequel trilogy. Let's say, right? When they were just doing movies, that's fine. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, whatever, right? Those movies have their issues, but the issues were just like, okay, like the story, but at least it didn't feel low budget. You know what I mean? And now we're getting to a point where Star Wars just looks cheap.
Yeah, it's like looks like cheap. It's cheap.
It's just very disappointing. The series as a whole.
Not in Mando.
No, not Mando. Okay, yeah, no. Mando. Just Mando, because Boba Fett
was cheap.
Had bad.
What is it? Those fucking Power Ranger people that they got.
Mando is good. Mando's
speeders,
good.
That speeding chase.
But Mando is good. I'm hoping Ahsoka is good. But
now Ahsoka, I have higher hopes for Ahsoka because again, Dave Filoni,
Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, you know. But
and we saw the leaked trailer for Mando season 3.
Yeah,
and that looks big. They're going like huge on that show. Like.
As a whole,
I think Obi-Wan should have been a movie. I think this should have been a good 2 hour.
If this was going to be the story, then definitely just don't do it at all. But there was potential to have a cool story here.
I think you do a movie with a bigger budget and again, and actually a good story.
Yeah,
this could have been a lot better.
Because man, Ewan McGregor does great. Like he he does the best that he can do. And
also I want a little more flashbacks. With him and Anakin.
It's very, the writing was so on the nose. I was like, this is it?
Yeah,
very disappointing.
And also, there's not much to really say. Like,
no.
In terms of story beats, because the first 4 episodes, nothing really happens.
Nothing, and then that's it.
Like nothing really happens.
I just very disappointed, man. And I know this is like we're being hard on it.
And I already know the comments.
People are gonna be like, "Oh, you just enjoy, be grateful that we have something."
Again, I saw.
I like it's what Star Wars Theory said. It's like, why should we just accept whatever they give us when it's poor? Like they're clearly not putting effort into it.
But again, it's like what I was telling you, like Den of Nerds. What he tweeted. And it's that toxic positivity.
Because it's like that's what Disney's giving us. We should be grateful.
Yeah, it's that toxic. People that blindly accept everything that have been like, look, yes.
I'm in shock that people like.
No, but look, is there good moments? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. In Obi-Wan, I like the scene when he slashes it, even though it's kind of calling rebels, but whatever. But I like when they were talking.
As a moment, it's cool, but in the context of the overall story, it makes no sense.
But in the moment, I liked it. I like when I was watching it. I liked that moment. I liked the like they're back and forth, and the way he was good. Like he's crying and when he gets up, you see the red lightsaber. Because he's seeing
him as Vader, yeah.
And you see the red lightsaber, like that means he's full dark side, but he has a little bit of the blue eyes come up a little bit. I like that. Yeah. Yes, but in terms of
because
everything,
they delivered it really well.
Because they're both good
in that moment. But in the context of the story, it makes no sense because Obi-Wan should have just after that, if he had killed him, if this was like an alternate, like alternate universe kind of movie or show, it would have been cool.
The thing is, the only way we're gonna get better content from Star Wars is we gotta be critical. We like,
and they need to take a step back. I think they're pumping out too much.
That, but also you gotta voice your opinion.
You gotta be honest.
Hey, like this is not on par to what we were getting like before on Star Wars.
That fight scene. It just makes you appreciate the prequels so much more.
Yeah.
We were all very critical of the prequels, of course. But not looking back, they age well. Because when you look back and you see what we have now, and you look back, you're like, damn, I kind of miss George Lucas. You know, because Duel of the Fates, Revenge of the Sith, you know, you look at those fight scenes, you look at the music, you look at the story. Yes, was the dialogue clunky and stuff? Fine, but you got a sense of the characters and everything. And
also,
this series as a whole, I mean, what would you give it? I mean, I don't like rating, but this is a low rating. I don't even want to rate it, honestly, but it's low. It's low.
It's low. Because the first...
Very disappointing. Each episode, I felt like I got more frustrated. That's what bothered me.
And what got me was episode 4.
Episode 4 was bad, yeah.
Like, the Austin Powers,
Yeah,
when he's like he's hiding Leia in the trench coat, man.
It's just very... I mean, the series is all very disappointing, and I hate to say it, but it is what it is. That's how I felt watching it. I grew more and more frustrated each episode.
Honestly, were there moments
all
I
the
enjoyed?
tropes
Were there moments I liked? Again, the only parts that I liked was when it was about Obi-Wan. When the flashbacks,
even the flashback scene, right? It was cool to see them together, but Coruscant didn't look like Coruscant.
Yeah.
And again, it looks so low budget.
That's like nitpicking, but I'm talking about like the scene itself of seeing them.
Yeah, it was nice seeing them again.
I can't lie, I like it.
It was nice
because it's.
It was nice to see.
Yeah, they're back in their characters.
It still looked low budget.
Yeah, whatever.
And it takes me out.
Yeah, I know.
It takes me out. It was nice seeing them together. It was.
Yeah, but honestly, there's not much I really liked. Episode 3 battle, that was that was like one of the worst lightsaber fights I've ever seen. Why didn't Vader just jump over the fire? There's a lot of
logistical problems like that. It makes no sense.
And also, too, like another issue that I did have, too, was if Vader wants Obi-Wan so bad, right? Like that's like his goal. Why would you send Reva down there in episode 5? Mind you, like he fucking ripped apart that ship.
Yeah.
Like he ripped it apart instantly. So you're going to tell me why couldn't you just go down and rip off the door and go get Obi-Wan? And kill everyone. You know what I mean? Like the show went again, and they did the same mistake like in the Rian Johnson movie, the Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
You have them by the ropes. Don't send TIE fighters again. Like what the fuck? Why are you not sending in the series finale?
Yeah.
Why are you not sending TIE fighters?
It's just.
Yeah,
that was the whole show.
Because he didn't want to blow up. Maybe he didn't want to like.
But that was the whole show was just wait. But why? But didn't he just like? He just did this, but why doesn't he just do that? Like, there's so many things that it's just logistical things that don't make sense just to prolong the story.
The show trips over itself, like the writing, they always like find a way to screw themselves over. Like I don't know.
And honestly, that's it for me. I don't want to continue rambling on it.
But you guys look at the show. It's not an Obi-Wan show. It's not a good Obi-Wan show. And this is this. And honestly, it's not fair for them, you know, for the actors. Like, this needed more budget and a tighter story, and we didn't get that.
It's just very disappointing. I mean, you guys watching and listening, what do you think? Do you think we're completely wrong? Do you disagree? Do you agree? What did you think of the finale? What did you think of the final, like the series as a whole?
Because the thing is, it's like I knew, I know it could be better. I know this could be better.
All of it,
and that's what gets me, you know, upset because like this could be better. I know it could because like this is Star Wars, like
and we want to. And look, when we're being honest, because it's so easy. Like and what bothers me is you see a lot of people talking about this stuff that are like they like they didn't like it, but they don't want to say they didn't like it, so they're like like. It has all these issues, whatever, but it's like I enjoyed it. But like they're not. It's not convincing when they say it. Like I enjoyed it. It's like, did you really?
Just be honest.
You can be honest. Critical. Because man, I was watching this. I honestly.
But you know what it is? Because people don't like being critical. Because look how
you get backlash. Star Wars theory.
Look at Star Wars theory right now. Right? Yeah. Look at the dude. People are literally trying to cancel the guy for like
being critical.
For being critical. Dude, look at the comments. Like it's.
And he's like the nicest guy too.
Yeah. Like look at the comments that he's getting.
Yeah.
And I was like, when he was like tweeting and stuff.
Yeah.
Fans go, oh look, this is how his fan base is so toxic and this. No, they're not. He's just being critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he likes something, he says it, but you gotta be critical because that's the only way you're gonna get a better product.
No. I mean, I don't know. I think that's. Is there anything else? Because there's so much, right? Like we can go on for hours, like nitpicking the scenes that make no sense.
I don't want to like nitpick, but I'm talking about just overall.
Overall, that's what I felt.
overall disappointed. It could have been better. It felt very cheap.
Yeah, because we could go scene by scene and say how dumb each thing is.
I mean, number one is the fucking karate chop.
When the girl's slapping the helmets of the stormtroopers and that knocks them out. I mean, we can go on and on. We're not gonna.
No, I'm not gonna.
Because
do that.
this will be an hour episode of
I'm
just
not gonna do that.
bashing.
The parts that I like, the flashbacks with the OG characters,
and just Ewan McGregor was great,
and the final battle, I liked when that dialogue that they had, I liked it. Even though
the actress for Leia was good,
even though
she was great, but
Obi-Wan got a massive power boost. Like he literally
at no point did I see when did he.
No, but and also he could have just killed him, but whatever. He literally could have just killed him.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like this show doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but whatever. It's not canon for me, so.
Yeah, basically. We'll leave it there. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. Feel free to like and subscribe, and please comment down below. What did you think of the series? What did you think of the finale? Do you think we're crazy and we're completely wrong? Do you agree? Anything? Just let us know, and we'll reply to everyone. And thank you so much for watching and for listening. Till the next one. Goodbye.